Welcome back from the ad break. If you are joining me right now in studio, before the ad break, we were joined by Andy, who is the founder of the app Parcel Quest. But right now, though, we are about to get into an interview with the CEO of iHub. He is Darryl Dennis. Now, right now in studio, I'm joined by none other than Mr. Darryl Dennis, who's going to introduce himself and let you know what he does and who he is exactly. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. So I am Darryl Dennis, for the last time I checked. I'm currently the Chief Executive Officer of the Nelson Mandela Innovation Hub. So the Innovation Hub is essentially a business incubator, but the focus in the Nelson Mandela branch, if I could call it, Port Elizabeth, is predominantly ICT focused. So it's an incubator that affords youth who are passionate about ICT, who have innovative ideas. We provide them with the infrastructure or an environment that is conducive for them to focus on that.
Yeah.
And when I say infrastructure, so the brick and mortar, but connectivity. And a big part of our value proposition is that we do mentorship, training, and leadership, which really then gives the youth or the SMMEs a well-balanced approach to both business and innovation.
Now, you've been in the ICT sector for like 20 years.
28 years.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yes.
so around 20, plus 20 years.
Yeah. My age, you're giving my age away.
So sorry about that. But tell us, obviously, with your kind of experience, has that always been your passion? Has this been like forever? Is this what you've always wanted to do? Did you always picture yourself in the sector?
I must be honest now. My passion, I studied law, so legal graduate. So law was always my passion. But unfortunately, when I graduated, South Africa was still in the throes of apartheid, and I just couldn't find myself applying my mind or what I'd studied in that environment. So I almost got into ICT by default, if you like.
Yeah.
Family of mine started an ICT business, and that's how I got involved. But I think the last 28 years, I've enjoyed every part of it because I've been fortunate to work for multinationals, which gives you a very different perspective.
Yes.
Corporate IT, big focus on government. So I think it was almost a natural progression from where I was to where I am right now. Fortunate having the experience in ICT, be it sales, business development, government relations, corporate affairs. And I think what has assisted me and the iHub since me joining as the CEO is the relationships that I have in the industry. Particularly with OEMs, original equipment manufacturers. So I think that has really stood me in good stead, and similarly so the iHub.
Yeah. Now let's speak about the progress in the ICT sector in the Nelson Mandela Bay, especially before COVID, and then looking at where we are right now. Let's speak about that. What is your take on that? Do you think that we're making fair enough progress where ICT is concerned?
Are you referring to from a municipality perspective?
Yes.
I think there's a lot more that can be done. I think we all appreciate the fact that technology is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So what is relevant today in a year's time has changed.
Yes.
So new technologies. So I think what is critically important is that we keep abreast of technological advances and how those would positively impact on, from a municipal perspective, service delivery.
Yes.
So when we talk e-government, I say this advisedly and with respect, I don't think the municipality has necessarily embraced e-government, where service delivery could be better, or the inhabitants of Nelson or Kabeja could be better serviced using technology. So I think there's a lot more that can be done. I also believe that we are fortunate that we have the likes of the Nelson Mandela University, whose computer science faculty is rated as one of the best in the country. So I don't think we necessarily leverage off those relationships enough, because I think we could achieve a lot more.
Now, with that same breath, I mean, there's so much that can be done, as you just mentioned, but also let's speak about the impact that we can be made regarding ICT, like in our education system as well. I mean, we have so many young entrepreneurs, you know, so what do you think we should focus more on or work on in terms of education as well as educating people where ICT is concerned?
I think, and Nazo, we'd all agree that with the onset or with the advent of the pandemic, we all realize how dependent we are on technology.
Yes.
And I speak from my own experience. So my daughters who are at NMU and others who are at school, we were fortunate that because I have fiber at home and connectivity, they could attend lectures and classes. But there are others who don't have that.
Exactly.
So I think it really comes down to an awareness campaign and an educational aspect to say, this is what ICT is and this is what it can do for you. The unfortunate scenario I think we also find ourselves in that many educators don't understand IT.
Yes.
It's a foreign phenomenon for them. When you mention it to them, they are very averse to, I'd rather not. So it's a mindset that needs to change at an educational level, because only then can that filter down to the youth. So I think it's incumbent on us to be a bit more proactive and aggressive in how we position technology within our curricula, firstly at schools, and the awareness and the educational aspect is a critical component to that.
It is very much so. And unfortunately, that is all that we have for you for today's episode of BIZ Talk. But please do join me same place, same time right here on channel 260 with myself, of course, Sinazo January. But for myself and the MVK crew, it is good night and God bless.